Suppose x1, x2, x3 till x100 are in arithmetic progression such that x5 equal to -4, and we have an equation there, 2x6 plus 2x9 is equal to x11 plus x13. Then what is the value of x100? So here this x6 is like 6th element in the same AP and x9 is 9th element and so on. So to solve this question, we need to understand what is the nth term in an AP. It is given by a plus n minus 1 times d, where a is the first term, n is the number of term, which term we are talking about, and d is the common difference. So this is the formula I will be using to solve this question. Okay. So we have certain things given to us. We'll make some equations with some variables and try to solve it. So this is a classic case, a question of algebra in which two concepts have been used, sequences and series, and also linear equations. I'll show you how. So it says x5 equal to -4, that is given to us. So when x5 is equal to -4, what does that mean? I can write, if the first term is a, for this a plus n minus 1, n is 5 here. So we will use the same formula. So it will be a plus 4d, that will be -4. Let this be equation number 1. So now you can see that we have an equation with two variables. The variables are a and d. We need to find them out and we'll be able to solve our question. All right. And this is what is given to us. And what do we have to find? We need to find x100. I'll just write it here, x100. This will be given by a plus 99 d. This is what we need to find. Clear. What else is given to us? This is given to us. So as you can see, we have one equation and two variables. So the number of equations should be equal to number of variables. That is the necessary case so as to calculate both the variables. So let's put it here. Now if I take this 2 times x6, x6 will be a plus 5d. The sixth term plus 2 times x9, x9 will be a plus 8d. x11 will be a plus 10d, and this x13 will be a plus 12d. So far, so good. Let's open the brackets and try to solve. I open this, I get 2a here, that makes it 4a, 2 into 5, 10, 2 into 8, 16, 10 plus 16 is 26, I'll get 26d. On the left hand side, right hand side, I'll get 2a, a plus 22d. Okay, great. Now bringing it on the left hand side, 4a minus 2a will be 2a, 26d minus 22d will be 4d. This is equal to 0. I can divide this by 2. So I'll get a plus 2d is equal to 0. I have the second equation. Now you can see it clearly. Well, from this I can also do one thing. I can write a is equal to minus 2d. And this is where my life will become really simple. I'll change the ink, color of the ink, so that you understand this clearly. We have a as to minus 2d, I can put it over here. So a as minus 2d, if I put it, I'll get minus 2d plus 4d is equal to minus 4. Having said that, I'll get 2d is equal to minus 4. What I can say d is equal to minus 2. Great. I have got the value of d. The value of a will be, a is minus 2d. So minus 2 of this. That makes it 4. So now a is 4 and d is minus 2. Let's put the value over here to get the correct answer. So x100 is a, that is 4, plus 99 times d, that is 99 times minus 2. So this will be 4 minus 198, which gives us minus 194 as the correct answer. Do we have that option? Yes, we do have that option. That was this is the CAT slot 1 QA. This was the question, and I'll rate this question as a moderate question, and the ideal time to solve this question must be 1.5 minutes. Thank you. Renu would take 15 days working 4 hours per day to complete a certain task, whereas Seema would take 8 days working 5 hours a day per day to complete the same task. So if Renu does, let's say, odd units of work, then in that case, per hour, let's say R units of work. So Renu would have done R multiplied by 15 multiplied by 4 units of work overall. And if I assume Seema would be doing like S units of work per hour, and she would have done S multiplied by 8 multiplied by 5. And this will be equal. The work is completed. Perfect. So if I solve this, I'll get R upon S as 8 into 5 upon 15 into 4. So 4 cancels 8 twice and 5 cancels 15 thrice. So now I can assume that Renu is doing 2 units of work per hour and Seema is doing 3 units of work per hour. Ratio is 2 by 3, so I just assume that. By the way, I'll also assume total work in terms of number of units. So as you see here, 15 fours are 60, 8 fives are 40. To avoid any kind of complex calculations, I can assume the work to be an LCM of 60 and 40, that is 120 units. Perfect now. Okay. Now, they decide to work together to complete this task. Seema agrees to work for double the number of hours per day as Renu. Okay, while Renu agrees to work for double the number of days as Seema. If Renu works 2 hours, it is given to us. Perfect. Per day, the number of days Seema will be working is. So Renu is doing 2 hours per day and Renu is working double the amount of. Okay, perfect. So for Renu and for Seema, I can just write things so that you don't get confused. Renu is doing R units of work per hour. Seema is doing S units of work per hour. Renu is working 2 hours per day. Seema is working how much? Seema agrees to work with double the number of hours per day as Renu. She'll be working for 4 hours. And the number of days for Seema we have to calculate. Let it be D. And this other girl, Renu, agrees to work for double the number of days. Working for 2D. While R and S are 2 and 3 each. This is 2 and this is 3. If I multiply it all, what do I get? 2 into 2 into 2. 8D. Here 3 into 4. 12D. So 8D plus 12D is total work, which makes it 20D is equal to total work is 120. So D will be equal to 6. What is D? D is what we assume the number of days to be for Seema, and that is what question is actually asking. The moment I wrote this, I got the answer. A simple question. I hope you enjoyed the solution. Thank you. If x is a positive real number such that 4 log x base 10 plus 4 log x base 100 plus 8 log x base 1000 is equal to 13, then the greatest integer not exceeding x is what? Well, so there is a formula, a result in log which says if I have log a base b, then I can write it as log a base c upon log b base c. There is change of base formula which I'll be using to solve this question. I'll tell you how. So here it is 4 log x base 10. I'll just write 4 log x base 10. All right, that's good. Next one, 4 log x base 100. So what if I make it base 10 and then divide this by log 100 base 10 from change of base formula. This will be, kind of making my life easier, because log 100 base 10, in which power of 10 do we have 100? It's 2. So log 100 base will be 2 directly, and this 2 will cancel 4 2 times. So I'll be at an easier stage. Now 8 log x base 10 upon log 1000 base 10. This is equal to 13. Wow, so far so good. So as I can see this will be 2, this will be 3. And let me do one thing. What if I assume that log x base 10, this is equal to, let's say, a. So what I'll have here is 4a plus 4a by 2 plus 8a by 3 is equal to 13. Perfect. Let's solve this. By the way, this 4 upon 2 will be 2. 4a plus 2a is 6a. 3 6 are 18. Looks good. And what else do we have? We have 4, 4, 4. Okay, perfect. So 4 plus 2, 6a. This will be 18 plus 26a by 3 is 13, which gives us like 13 twos are. So a will be equal to 3 by 2. Now a is 3 by 2. And what was a? A was this. So we have log x base 10 to be equal to 3 by 2. Which means x will be equal to 10 to the power 3 by 2. What is 3 by 2? It's 1.5. So I can write as 10 multiplied by 10 to the power 1 by 2. Alright. This is 10. And what is 10 to the power 1 by 2? Square root of 10. What exactly is that? This is something which we probably not be knowing. But there's one thing we are sure of. 3 square is 9 and 4 square is 16. So square root of 10 must be lying between 3 and 4. That is for sure. Right? The square root of 10 must be lying between 3 and 4. Okay. We know that. And this is a theta question. So basically you cannot have answer in decimal. It says greatest integer not exceeding x. Now, this can be 3.1, 3.2, 3.4, whatever. That is something which we're not sure of. If it is 3.1, 10 into 3.1 something, I'll get 31 point something. If it is 3.2, I'll get 32 point something. So what else? What we need to do? Do we have to actually multiply? Obviously, you can do one thing, that you can multiply 3.1 from 3.1 because you have calculator in CAT, or maybe 3.2 into 3.2. That is what you can do and get the correct answer. By the way, this is something which you already know. 32 into 32 is 1024. How do we know that? Because 32 is 2 to the power 5, and if I multiply 2 to the power 5 with 2 to the power 5, I'll get 2 to the power 10. That is 1024. 3.2 has exceeded if I exceeded the value of 10, right? So 32 multiplied by 32 is 1024. If I multiply 3.2 into 3.2, I'll get 10.24. Is that right? Which will be greater than 10. So basically, this root 10 must be lying between 3 and 3.2. So it should be approximately 3.1 something. All right. Multiply, I'll get 31 point something, which I'm not, caring about, because we need the greatest integer that does not exceed x. 31 point something. The integer is 31. So the answer will be 31. Such a beautiful question, which requires some kind of understanding of numbers. It's again algebra. Let's go to the next question. Let x, y, and z be real numbers satisfying the given equations. Then a equals what? Okay. To solve this question, as I can see certain things over here, there is 4x square, x, y square minus yz square minus z, a and 3 plus a. Okay. So what comes to my mind, first of all, is what if I mark this as equation 1, this is equation 2, and then I subtract with these. So 1 minus 2, what will I get? Okay, let me see. 4x square minus 4x. If I open the bracket and then write it. After that, I'll have plus 4y square plus 4y, because minus and minus becomes plus. And then I have 4z square plus 4z. That will be equal to how much? Minus 3. Perfect. Now what? Okay, I can bring this minus 3 on the left hand side. I'll be plus 3. So plus 3, what is plus 3? It's plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, like 3 times 1. Why I'm doing that? The reason is simple. I can write this as 4x square minus 4x plus 1, put inside a bracket. I'm breaking 3 into 3 equal parts. So I'll be now giving the other one to these two, like 4y square plus 4y plus 1 here, and then plus 1 to these two. So that will be 4z square plus 4z plus 1. This will equal to 0. Well, so why do I do that? Because I want to make a perfect square. Have I made it? I think yes. The first one is 2x minus 1 whole square. Am I right? Yes. If I square this, I'll get this only. The second one is nothing but 2y plus 1 whole square. Yeah, looks good. The third one is 2z plus 1 whole square is equal to 0. Well, now you see that there are 3 perfect squares and the sum is 0. By the way, now we need to use some mathematical algebraic property. Perfect squares or I can say squares of real numbers real numbers, they're always positive or equal to 0, isn't it? It says x, y, z are real numbers. Otherwise, they must have written imaginary numbers, right? They have mentioned it clearly. So as you can see, these are three perfect squares. The sum is 0. They would either be positive or be equal to 0. That means that these three individually are equal to 0, because 0 plus 0 plus 0 can only be 0. All right. The moment we realize that, our life is sorted. So 2x minus 1 whole square is also 0. At the same time, 2y plus 1 whole square is also 0. The last one, that is 2z plus 1 whole square, is also 0. Which means if I take the square root, x will be equal to 1 by 2, y will be equal to minus 1 by 2, and z would be equal to minus 1 by 2. By the way, different people have done different things to solve this question. Some people have used Cauchy's inequality, which is not even 12th standard. We do it in engineering maths and maths honors. People have done that. I saw the website, I saw the Google, I Googled it out, and people have solved this question with using Cauchy's inequality. Some people have also assumed the wrong values. But I think this solution is most in sync with the real cat. Tell me in the comments if you feel the same. Okay, we got the value of x, y, z. Let's put it anywhere. Put it here or here, I get the value of a. So we put the value of x is 1 by 2, y is minus 1 by 2, z is minus 1 by 2. Here, it's square. So it doesn't matter if it is negative or positive, I'll get positive only. 1 by 2 square is 1 by 4. So 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 is 3 by 4. So 4 times 3 by 4 is what the value of a is. That is 3. This question says if the equations x square plus mx plus 9 equal to 0, x square plus nx plus 17 equal to 0, and x square plus m plus n times x plus 35 equal to 0, have a common negative root. All right, have a common negative root. The value of 2n plus 3n is what? We have three equations, quadratic. We can do a lot of things. Add this, subtract that, do all that stuff. But what comes to mind in the first hand that what if I assume this to be equation number 1, this to be, let's say, equation number 2, and this to be, let's say, equation number 3, and if I add 1 and 2 and then subtract 3 from it, what do I get? Let's add it up. This plus this. I'll get 2x square, x square and x square, 2x square, plus taking x common, I'll get n plus n times x plus 26 is equal to 0. That is 1 plus 2. And subtracting 3. Subtracting 3. Okay, wait. Let's subtract 3 as well, equation 3 as well from here. So I'll get minus x square, minus of taking x common n plus n times, minus 35. On the right hand side, 0 minus 0 is 0. Cool. Wow, life is so sorted. This guy gets cancelled out totally. 2x square minus x square is just x square, and 26 minus 35 will be minus 9 is equal to 0, which means x is either plus 3 or minus 3. It is said in the question that all these things, that all these equations have a common root. So, a common negative root. So, basically that common negative root is nothing but minus 3. By now, we have understood that this is minus 3. The value of x is minus 3. Okay, we got that. We need to find the value of 2m plus 3n. That's what we need to find. So now we have the value of the common root is minus 3. I can put minus 3 in all these equations. And this is plus. So I'll put x equal to minus 3. And that is how I'll be able to calculate the relevant values of m and n and put it in the, and that will be my answer. Okay, cool. So let's do. If I put minus 3 in the first equation, this equation, what do I get? Minus 3 square is 9, minus 3m plus 9 is equal to 0, which gives me minus 3m is equal to minus 18, or I can say m is equal to 6. I got the value of m. Nice. Now I'll put x equal to minus 3 in the second equation, this one, to get the value of n, right? So if I do that, minus 3 square is 9, minus minus 3n plus 17 is equal to 0, which gives me minus 3n. 9 plus 20 is 26. Is 26, that means the value of n is minus 26 by 3. Alright, that looks good. Perfect. What else? Okay, we got the value of n as well. But this is wrong actually. 9, 26, this is minus 26. So I'll get n as 26 by 3. Now this makes sense. Okay, it's a theta question, it can't be negative, right? So 2n plus 3n, 2 into n, n is 6, plus 3 into n, n is 26 by 3. Let's do that. 12 plus 26 is what we need to. But the answer is, we get 38 as the correct answer. Happy. Thank you. Two places A and B are 45 kilometers apart and connected by a straight road. Okay. So let us, visualize things. These are two places, A and B. How are they 45 kilometers apart? Okay. Anil goes from A to B, while Sunil goes from B to A. Starting at the same time, they cross each other exactly after 1 hour 30 minutes. So let's say this is where they cross each other. Okay. And both have traveled for 1 hour and 30 minutes. That means 1.5 hours. Okay. So just from this, I can assume one thing. If the speed of, I assume the speed of Anil to be A kilometers per hour and Sunil to be S kilometers per hour, then because they're traveling in the opposite direction, the relative speed will be added. So A plus S multiplied by the speed multiplied by time must be equal to the total distance. That is 45 as given in the question already. Which means the value of A plus S will be equal to 30. Let this be first equation. Okay. So this is the best thing for arithmetic. While you read the question, keep on solving. Starting at the same time, they cross each other in exactly this. Okay. If Anil reaches B, so Anil was traveling from here. Okay. This is Anil. And from here we have Sunil. So Anil reaches B exactly 1 hour 15 minutes after Sunil reaches A. After Sunil reaches A. All right. So, well, I can do one thing. What if I assume that Sunil takes T hours? Okay, T hours to reach A. Then that means Anil would have taken how much? T plus 5 by 4. 1 hour 15 minutes is how much? 5 by 4. This much hours to reach B. That is what it must have been. Okay. Now, once you assume that, and this T is the time after crossing. All right. This is after crossing each other. Same as this after crossing. So as we know, there is a formula for it. When two people cross each other after T time, that is always a geometric mean, the time taken by them to go further. So they crossed at 1.5 hours, after 1.5 hours. So 1.5 must be geometric mean of T and T plus 5 by 4. This is where we'll be able to find the value of T. Perfect. Let's do that. So if I take the square of both the sides, I'll get 2.25 to be equal to T square plus 5T by 4. Let's multiply 4 everywhere. So I will get 4T square here plus 5T minus this 4 into 2.25 is 9. Minus 9 is equal to 0. Let's try to solve for T. 4 9s are 36. Here we have 5, 36. So yeah, 4 minus 9. Perfect. 9 minus 4. Okay, so we can break it. Now we get two values for time. So this shortcut, right? Break 5 in such a way the product is minus 36. So that is 9 and minus 5. 9 and minus 4. Okay. Once you have broken it down, 9 and minus 4, just reverse the signs. So this plus 9 becomes minus, minus becomes plus, then divide by the coefficient of the leading term. Minus 9 by 4, 4 by 4. Obviously time can't be negative. So 4 by 4, time is 1 hour. Time is 1 hour. You can solve it by conventionally also. This is a shortcut which I told in the class. So time is 1 hour. not 1 hours, but 1 hour only. This time is 1 hour. We have to find speed of Anil in kilometers per hour. So now we know that overall time taken by Anil is how much. We can calculate that. So T, this, Anil has taken T plus 5 by 4. We got the value of T, that is 1. That means, and from here to here, Anil has taken 1.5 hours. So overall, Anil has taken 1.5 plus T plus 5 by 4, and T that we calculated, we got T as 1. 1 plus 5 by 4 is time taken by Anil to overall complete everything. So to make it simple, I can write 3 by 2 and plus 1 plus 5 by 4. Let's take the LCM. We have 4 here. So 2 2s are 6 plus 4 plus 5, 15 by 4 hours is the time taken by Anil to complete the entire distance. Distance is 45. Distance upon time is basically speed. 45 upon 15 by 4 is what we need to calculate. This will be 12. So 12 kilometers per hour will be the speed of Anil. Do we have that option? Yes, we have that option. For any natural number n, let a(n) be the largest integer not exceeding square root of n. Wow. Then the value of a1 plus a2 till a50 is what? Largest integer not exceeding root n. That means they're talking about a greatest integer function, or in the language of computers, we can say the floor function. Cool. Root n. Okay. So I'll just do one thing. What if I take a1? You know, what will be the value of a1? The square root of 1 is how much? 1. 1. So a1 will be 1 only. We take a2. Square root of 2 is 1.414. 1.414. And the largest integer not exceeding 1.414 is 1 only. Square root of 3 is 1.732. Now, the largest integer not exceeding 1.732 is 1 again. So even if you don't remember the squares, square roots of all the numbers, what you do remember is the squares of numbers. As we know, the square root of a4, we know the square root of perfect squares like a1, a4, a9 and so on. This is 2 point something. It has to be 2. Now a5, we don't need to calculate that. We know that a9 will be 3, a16 will be 4, a25 will be 5, a36 will be 6, isn't it? A49 will be 7. Wow. We got the idea, isn't it? So from A1 to A3 we have 1 each, and A4 is 2, A9 is 3. That means from A4 to A8 the square root will be 2 point something. That means it will be 2 each from A4 to A8. From A9 to A15 it has to be 3 each. From A16 to A24 it has to be 4 each. Then 5 each till A35 and so on. Cool. Now let us try to find the pattern. So A1, A2, A3. 3 numbers are there. I'll write numbers and the largest integer not exceeding greatest integer function. Okay, not exceeding. This is this. Not exceeding root n. GIF of root n. All right. Let's do that. But mathematical symbol for this can be. This is the mathematical symbol. Whatever you get it, that is what we need to do. So numbers. The first 3 numbers, that is 1, 2, 3. Their GIF, greatest integer function, will be, or we can say integer number, greatest integer will be basically 1, right? That is from 1 to 3. At 4, the square root of 4 is 2, square root of 9 is 3. So from 4 to 8, the square root will be 2 point something. So 4 to 8, how many numbers do we have? We have 5 numbers like that. With 2 each. In case you want to have a, pointer, so I'll just write here. See, this is these numbers are 1, 2, 3. These numbers are 4 to 8. Then we have 9 to 15. Then we'll be having 16 to 24. Then we have 25 to 35. At every perfect square, I'm starting this counting. 48 and 49. It should be till 8, just before 8 square, but here we have till 50 only. So I put 9 to 50. That's it. Perfect. Let's count the numbers now. Square root of 9 is 3. square root of 16 is 4. So everything here will be having 3. There will be 4, 5, 6 and 7. 9 to 15, how many numbers do we have? 7 numbers. This will be 9 numbers. Then again we have a pattern. 13 numbers, and here we have only 2. Wow. So what is sum of all of this? 3 times 1, 5 times 2, 7 times 3. Let's try to find the sum of all of it. I'll write the sum, one more column here, sum. 3 into 1, 3, 5 2s are 10, 7 3s are 21, 9 4s are 36, 11 5s are 55, 13 6s are 78, 2 7s are 14. Let's add them all. 4 plus 8, 12, plus 5, 17, plus 6, 23, plus 1, 24, plus 3, 27, 7. Carry forward 2, 2 plus 1, 3, plus 2, 5, plus 3, 8, plus 5, 13, plus 7, 20, plus 1, 21. The answer is 217. This question is from conceptually it's not very difficult, but yeah, it can take some time to solve. I would guess you will take close to 2 minutes to solve this question correctly. Thank you. There are 4 numbers such that the average of the first 2 numbers is 1 more than the first number. So let me write the numbers first of all. The numbers are, let's say, A, B, C and D. It says the average of the first 2 numbers, that means A plus B by 2, is 1 more than the first number, that is equal to A plus 1. Okay, so we can get the value of B in terms of A, right? So this will be A plus B is 2A plus 2, which means the value of B will be A plus 2. Perfect. So in place of B, I can just write A plus 2 to avoid any confusion. Perfect. We have got this. That's the calculation. All right. What next? It says average of the first 3 numbers is 2 more than the average of first 2 numbers. So average of first 3, these 3, will be A plus 2 plus C. We have 3 numbers upon 3. This is 2 more than the average of first 2 numbers. 2 more than the average of first 2 numbers. First numbers average is A plus 2 upon 2 and 2 more than it. Let's write 2 here. Now we can write C in terms of A. Right. So this is a interesting question. Just we need to keep on solving until we get the answer. This will be 2A, 2 to the 4, 2A plus 6 upon 2. Nice, nice. So we have 4A plus 4 plus 2C is 6A plus 18. So what do we have now? 2C. 2C is equal to 4A goes there, we have 2A, and 4 goes there, so we have plus 14, right? Which means the value of C will be A plus 7. Dividing by 2, we get A by 7, A plus 7. So now we have A plus 7. So value of C is A plus 7. Let's replace it by A plus 7. We need to find the value of D now. Average of first 4 numbers, all of it, is 3 more than the average of first 3 numbers. Then the difference between the smallest and largest is what? We need to find D minus A. Okay, so for the last calculation, I just need some space. It says the average of the 4 numbers is 3 more than the average of the first 3 numbers. So let us do it in this space. Average of first 3. Okay. So A plus 2 plus A plus 7 upon 3 is the average of first 3 numbers. 3 more than it is the average of all of it. So that means if I add all of it, 3A plus 9 plus D upon 4. That is what the question is. The equation is, so we need to find value of D. Great. Let's solve it. So we have 3A plus 9 here as well. 3A plus 9 by 3 is A plus 3 only. So, and this A plus 3 is equal to, and let's multiply this by 4. Cross multiplication, we have 3A plus 9 plus D. So A plus 6, this is 4A plus 24. 4A plus 24, this comes here, minus 3A minus 9 is the value of D, which makes A plus 15 as the value of D. Nice. I think it's solved now. So this is A plus 15. We need to find the difference between the smallest and largest. Smallest is A, largest is A plus 15. So the answer is 15. That's it. I love this question. Calculative, but yeah, easy one. Thank you. ABCD is a rectangle with sides AB is equal to 56 centimeter, BC is 45, and E is the midpoint of side CD. So it's a rectangle, we know that. So let's draw the rectangle first of all. And it says AB is the longer side. So if I have AB as this and C as this, then D will be this one. AB is 56, BC is 45, which means as it's a rectangle, this will be 45 and this is 56. It says E is the midpoint of side CD. So if this side is, let's say, E, which means this is 28, that's 28 as well. Length in centimeter, radius of incircle of ADE. So let me join this, and as I see, it's a right angle triangle. So the in radius of any right angle triangle is given by perpendicular plus base minus the hypotenuse whole upon 2. Here the perpendicular is 45. The base is 28, and for hypotenuse we can use the triplets, or we can also calculate by using Pythagoras theorem. So hypotenuse 45 and 28. What's the HCF of these two? 45 and 28. Nothing is there. Or do we have 7 fours are? That is 3, 5, 9. Nothing is there. So we need to calculate it. So we'll be having 28 square plus 45 square. If you solve it, you'll get 784 plus 2025, which comes out to be, all right, this will be 2809. So H will be 53 in this case. So we have the value of P, that is 45, B is 28, H is 53. Let's plug in the values and get the answer here. So 45 plus 28 minus 53 upon 2. If I add this, I'll get 73, 20 upon 2. That is 10. So the correct answer over here is 10 centimeters. Just that we need to remember this formula and the question will be an easy task. Thank you. In the xy plane, the area in square units of the region defined by the inequalities. We have two inequalities here. This and this is what? To solve this, let us try to evaluate this inequality. This is more complex. So I can do one thing. This is minus 4 less than equal to x square. Let me have all the elements of x together. This, if I open the bracket, plus 4x. Here I have y square minus 4y is less than equal to 0. This looks like an equation of circle. Because in equation of circle, both x and y have the degrees as 2. Alright, once we have done that, can I try to do something over here? By the way, the equation of circle looks like this. X minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square is equal to r square, where a comma b becomes the center and r becomes the radius. Cool. Let's try to do that. So I need like here we have perfect square terms. I need the perfect squares here. X square plus 4x. What if I introduce plus 4 here, and for y square minus 4y, again introduce plus 4 here. Basically I'm making a perfect square. So I introduce plus 4 twice. So that is 8. So I need to add 8 to both the extremities of inequalities. 8 here and 8 here as well. So now we have a proper circle, which is x plus 2 whole square plus y minus 2 whole square. All right. Where the center is minus, here we have minus a, here minus b, so ab is center. Here we have plus 2 minus 2, so minus 2 comma 2 will be the center, and the radii will lie between root 4 and root 8. Okay, so far so good, perfect. Well, so let me draw it on the coordinate plane. We'll have two concentric circles like this. The center is this, which is minus 2 comma 2. All right. Well. So far so good. Okay. Now, let us look at the second inequality. Y is greater than or equal to x plus 4. That's perfect. This minus 2 comma 2 I think lies on this, isn't it? So if you put x as minus 2 plus 4, y will be 2. Wow, this lies. So this will be a straight line which will go like this. A straight line. So basically they are diametrically opposite points. Minus 2 comma 2 is the center which lies on this line, which means now we have to find out the area of all the things which lie between these two extremities, 4 and 8. That means this ring, and also on the upper side of the, because we have y is greater than, so upper side of the ring. So basically we need to find the area of half of this ring. Okay. So the area can be found out by half. Why half? Because it's half the ring. Half of pi and then radius, square of radius. So if I find the area of this circle and subtract this, I'll find the area of the ring. So radius is root 8 and root 4. The square of it is 8 minus 4. Wow, such a nice question. So 8 minus 4 is 4. 4, 2 2s are 4. I'll have 2 pi as the correct answer. Brilliant question. How many of you solved that? I hope you enjoyed the explanation. Thank you. In September, the incomes of Kamal, Amal and Vimal are in the, I'll just write Kamal, Amal, Vimal for my sake of understanding. Alright, so income in September is in the ratio 865. Just write 8K, 6K and 5K. Kamal, Amal, Vimal. The rent the house together, Kamal pays 15%, Amal pays 12%, while Vimal pays 18% of the respective incomes to cover total house rent in that month. Okay. So, okay, I'll just write rent over here. So what is exactly happening here? 15%. Kamal pays 15% of 8K. That means he has paid 15% is how much? 15 into 8 is 120. So he must have paid 1.2K as the rent. 6 into 12, 7, okay, 0.72K as the rent. That is what Amal has paid. Vimal has paid 18%. 18% of 5 is 0.9, so 0.9K. Just need to calculate quickly. All right. In October, the house rent remains unchanged. Wow. Obviously. But while the incomes increase by 10%, 12%, 15%, 10%, 12% and 15%. Now the new income is for Kamal is 10% is 8 of 8 is 0.8. We'll have 8.8K and 12% of 6 is 0.72. So we'll have 6.72K and 15% of 5 is 0.75. So now we have 5.75K as the new income. Now it says in October the percentage of the total income that will be paid as house rent is nearest to what? So basically we need to add total rent, divide by total income and get the correct answer. Let's do that. Rent is 1.2 plus 0.72 plus 0.9 times K. Income, new income is 8.8 plus 6.72 plus 5.75 times K into 100 is what the percentage value will be. Let's calculate that. 1.92, 2.82 is what we get. K and K get cancelled obviously. 2.82 in the numerator is what we get, and in the denominator will be, let's do that, getting 8.8. So 5 goes there. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 1, 14 plus 8 is 22. 2 carry forward. 2, 8, 10, 16, 21. 21.27 is what we have. 2.82, 21.27 multiplied by 100. So we have calculator in CAT. There's no problem in that. And even if I have to kind of guess something, if it was 2.12, it would have been 10%. It's more than that. 2.12. This is 0.6 more. 0.6 0.6. That means 1% is 0.21. It's around 0.3% more. So yeah, 3% more. 13.26 is the correct answer. The approximation. I hope you enjoyed the solution. Thank you. An amount of rupees 10,000 is deposited in Bank A for a certain number of years at a simple interest of 5% per annum. On maturity, the total amount received is deposited in Bank B for another 5 years at simple interest of 6% per annum. The interest received from Bank A and Bank B and the ratio 10:13, the investment period in years in Bank A is what? Not a difficult question, I must say. Or is it? Not really. So let's try to find out. Okay. For Bank A, first of all, it's simple interest. So Bank A, 10,000. Simple interest P into R into T. Rate is how much? 5%. Time is something we don't know. Let it be T upon 100. That is the interest accumulated. So we have 50. It's 10,000. I'm so sorry. We have 500 T as the interest from Bank A. Nice. Now, what happens? This amount is invested in Bank B. So for Bank B, the investment will be 10,000. This is the principal initially, plus this 500 T. This whole has been invested for at 6% for 5 years. Nice. So here the overall interest will be how much? Let's calculate that. 5 into 6, 30. So this is be 10,000 and 30, 300,000. Okay, I'll just write it to avoid any confusion. 300,000 T plus 15,000. T is not, we don't have T over here. All right, nothing here. I'll just erase it. No confusions needed. Okay, this is what we have. And then divide by 100. Perfect. So we'll get 3,000 plus 150T as the interest in the from Bank B. Now it says, the question says, interest received from Bank A to Bank B is in the ratio of 10/13. So 500T upon 3,000 plus 150T. The ratio is 10/13. Just that in these questions, there is a possibility that you might, miss out on zeros. That's the only problem which can happen. You need to be careful about that. We need to find the value of T. Let us cross multiply and get it. Okay. We also need to cancel out 50s. Divide 50 and the numerator and denominator. So that will be 20 by 50. To make it simple, I'll get 10T, 50 into how much? 60 is what I get, plus 3T will be equal 10/13. When we do that, our calculation in life becomes simple. 10 and 10 get cancelled here. So 13T cross multiplying. 13T is 60 plus 3T. Solving it, 10T is 60. That means T is equal to 6 years. And that is the answer. Simple question. Just that you need to take care of the number of zeros. Thank you. A shop wants to sell certain quantity in kilogram of grains. It sells half the quantity and an additional 3 kg of these grains to the first customer. Then it sells half of the remaining quantity and an additional 3 kg to the second customer, and it does again for the third customer. So there's a chain of thoughts. So I gave a very interesting kind of explanation for this in one of the classes, if you remember. So let's say this is a processing box. X goes inside. So what exactly happens? If he sells, half the quantity, that means he sells X by 2 plus 3 more. This is what he sells. So remaining quantity will be X by 2 minus 3. That means if X goes inside, X by 2 minus 3 must come outside. How can that happen? If this is a processing box, first things get halved and then 3 is subtracted from it. That is the forward process. By the way, we have X, we do not know, the initial quantity we do not know. But we know the final quantity, there is no grains left. Final is 0. So if this happens 3 times, we should get 0 in the end. So instead of doing it 3 times, what if I reverse the sequence? From this forward direction, it's half and minus 3. So the backward direction must be opposite of subtraction is addition plus 3, and then opposite of division is multiplication multiplied by 2. So if something goes from here, it should be first added 3 then multiplied by 2. Perfect. So we need to do it 3 times. So first of all, in the end we had 0. 0 in the end. 0 plus 3 is 3, into 2 is 6. 3 times. 6 plus 3 is 9, into 2 is 18. Now 18 plus 3 is 21, into 2 is 42. We got the answer. Such an interesting technique to solve this. Whenever you have something like this, reverse process, just try to do this and you will be enlightened. Thank you. When 10 to the power 100 is divided by 7, the remainder is what? This will be the easiest question of slot 1. So for this, we can do it in different ways. So if I have 10 to the power 100 mod 7, here we can see that 7 is a prime number. And if it's a prime number, so what essentially happens, if I have a dividend called a and its power is p minus 1, where p is prime, if I divide this by p, the remainder will be 1. It's known as Fermat's Little theorem. It's also an extension of Euler's theorem because phi p is always equal to p minus 1. So we've done that in class, and based on this we can solve this question. So if the power was 6, the remainder would have been 1. In 100, how many 6s do we have? 6 into 16, that comes up to be 96, and remaining is 10 to the power 4, and mod 7 is already there. So this thing will become 1. So we'll be left only with 10 to the power 4, that is 10,000 mod 7. Let's divide and get the answer clearly. So if I divide this conventionally, 7 ones are 7, subtracting I have 3 here, 0 comes down, 7 fours are 28, to this 0 comes down, 7 threes are, 7 twos are 14, 6, this 0 comes down, 7 eights are 56. So 4 will be remaining here. The answer is 4, option A, as easy as possible. Thank you. The surface area of a closed rectangular box. So when they say closed rectangular box, they basically mean a cuboid, okay, which will look like this. Obviously, I cannot show a 3D cuboid, but just, the way we can represent 3D in 2D, that is how we can represent by the shadow effect. So the surface area is of this closed rectangular box, which is inscribed in a sphere, is 846 square centimeters. So this is the length, this is the breadth, and this is the height. This is the surface area. Okay, which means LB plus BH plus LH twice, because we have 2 surfaces each, right? So this is given as 846. So far, so good. Square centimeter. And the sum of the lengths of all its edges. All its edges. So we have 4 lengths, 4 breadths, and 4 heights, isn't it? So that means 4 times L plus B plus H is given as 144. Perfect. Now if I divide this by 4, I'll get L plus B plus H as 36. You might be surprised if I didn't divide this by 2. Anyways, you'll get to know it soon. This is the first equation, this is the second equation, which we will be using. Well, so this is inside the sphere. Obviously, if I make a sphere here, there's no way I can make a 3D sphere, isn't it? We'll have to imagine it. So I can do one thing. What if we look at from one cross section, the sphere will look like a circle, and this rectangle will look like this. From one cross section, where this will be the length, this will be the height, right? From other, I can see, if I rotate this like this, I can see L, length and breadth. So you can imagine that. But what needs to be understood, that if I join this point with this point, this yellow line, this will be exactly the diameter of this sphere. From this point to the point is not visible to us. It might be somewhere in the, back in the blackboard. So this is what the diameter will look like. And so whatever is diameter for the sphere is basically the longest diagonal for the rectangle. So I can say the diameter here will be equal to square root of L square plus B square plus H square, because that is how we calculate the longest diagonal, this yellow line inside a rectangle or a cuboid. All right, now, so we can do something with this, right? Because we have this, we also have this. If I do it like this, let me say, well, I'll just try to square this. If I take the square on both the sides, I'll have L square plus B square plus H square plus this. That is the reason I did not, divided this by 2. 2LB plus BH plus LS, that is the formula for it. And this is equal to 36 square, which is nothing but 1296. Perfect. Now I can calculate the value of L square plus B square plus H square. This is given as 846. So I'll have 1296 minus 846. All right. So let's calculate that. What do we have now? 50 there, 400 there, 450. So this diameter will be square root of 450. And 450 is nothing but 2 multiplied by 225. Which means 15 goes out, because 15 square is 225. So diameter is 15 root 2. Perfect. Which also means the radius will be 15 root 2 upon 2. That's the radius. We need to find the volume in cubic centimeter of the sphere. So volume of sphere is given by 4 by 3 pi r cube. This is the radius with us. 15 root 2 upon 2. Okay. Which means I can cancel out root 2 and root 2. So this is what I get. 15 upon root 2. So radius is 15 upon root 2. And the volume will be 4 by 3 pi r cube for a sphere. So let's do that. 4 by 3 into pi. In the options we have pi, so we don't need to solve the value of pi. R cube. So 225. 15 square is 225. Root 2 square is 2 multiplied by 15 upon root 2. So I took the r square and then an r for finding the r cube. Once I have that, I can just cancel out certain things. This is 3 5s are 15. Perfect. What else can be done? Here you see root 2 in the numerator, not in the denominator. So I can cancel this root 2 with this, the root 2 now. So 225 into 5 is how much? It's 1125 pi and root 2. Option C. This question will require 2 minutes to be solved. It requires some imagination and obviously very common algebraic and geometrical formulae. Thank you. If a plus b root n is the positive square root of 29 minus 12 root 5, when they say positive square root, that means this can have, negative square root as well. So a plus b root n is the square root of 29 minus 12 root 5. All right. So we can calculate the value of a, b and n. But a and b are integers. Okay. So there are, they have already been some limitations. A and b are integers for sure. And n is a natural number. So a and b can be negative or positive, while n is a natural number, n will be positive for sure. It's inside the root. The maximum possible value of a plus b plus n is maximum possible. That means we can have different possibilities. We need to find the maximum possible one. All right, let's try to do that. But take the square on both the sides. Square on both the sides. I'll get a square plus 2ab root n plus nb square. That is 29 minus 12 root 5. I can compare the like terms, isn't it? The like terms. The like terms, the terms which have this irrational root n part, this can be compared, right? So if I compare that, what do I get? I will get 2ab root n is equal to minus 12 root 5. Well, having said that, ab root n will be equal to 6 root 5. It looks pretty, clearly to me that ab is 6 when n is 5. This can be one case. Can we have more such cases? Okay, by the way, in this case, if we try to maximize a plus b plus n, you can see here, now a plus b plus n, in this case, what other things can we have? A, b, n. If I make a table out of it, I can have this as 1, 6, 1, 6, 5, all right, 1, 6, 5, can have 2, 3, 5, I can have reverse of it like 6, 1, 5, 3, 2, 5, which won't matter much. Or I can also have, A and B as negative numbers as their integers. Having said that, let's try to, based on this, we also need to check for if we get this, then a square plus nb square should also satisfy the given case, right? So before going and finding a, b, n, let us try to find this question can be difficult because this involves a lot of thought process. So this is true. At the very same time, this a square plus nb square must be equal to how much? 29. These two things should be simultaneously true. If I do it that way, if I put n as 5 here, because n is 5, and ab is this. So ab can be 1, 6, 2, 3. And it can be 6, 1, 3, 2. Or minus 1, minus 6, minus 3, minus 2. All that stuff is possible. So we will write it as a square plus 5b square is 29. Is 29. So when you take the value of a and b, you take it negative or positive, you will always get, because it's a square, you will always get a positive value. So if I take 1 and 6, 1 here and 6 there, 1 square plus 5, 6 square is 36. It's huge. I cannot take that. If I take 6 and 1, 6 square is 36. Again, huge. I need to take something, where the value of 5b square is also less than 29 and this is also less than 29. So 5b square, this looks, great to me. What if I take somehow, let me check for 3 and 2, maybe 3 and 2 or 2 and 3. So if I take a as 3, I get 3 square is 9 and b as 2, 2 square is 4, 4 5s are 20. Bingo. Taking a as 3 square and b as 2, 5 into 2 square, I'll get 29. Wow, my face is happy to see that. Here a is b, a is 3, b is 2, and n is 5, which makes 3 plus 2, 5 plus 5, 10 as the answer. Do we have it in option? We don't have that in the option. A plus b, 3 plus 2, 5 plus 5, 10. Oh, we don't have that option. What else? Can I maximize it more? What can I do? What can I exactly do? Okay. Anyways, so once we have that with us, let us try to, try to see what other things are possible. Like what can be the square root of this? Let's try to find the square root. I got a and b, so if I write it, the square root based on this, I will have, what do I have? A as 3, b as 2, and n is 5. So I'll have 3 plus 2 root 5, 3 plus 2 root 5 as the square root of this. But is that correct? Is that correct? Not really, because you see here it's minus. This cannot be true. This can't be true. So b is obviously not 2, b will be minus 2. And even if you take minus 2 here, that doesn't matter because minus 2 square is 4 again. So instead of taking 3 plus 2 root 5, let me take 3 minus 2 root 5. 3 minus 2 root 5. Well, 3 minus 2 root 5. Is that, yeah, perfect. This will be square root. But will that be the positive square root? 2 root 5. Root 5 is obviously more than 2. 2 root 5, 2 into something more than 2 will be more than 4. 3 minus 4 will be negative. We can't have this. That means we can't have this. So what can we have? I can have, if I take a as minus 3 and b as 2, then it's a possibility. So instead of taking 3 minus 2 root 5, let's take minus 3 plus 2 root 5. Now, is it a positive square root? Yeah, it is positive. 2 root 5 is more than 4. So obviously more than 3. This is positive. So this is the square root that we have. For sure. But taking this into consideration, we are getting 10, which is not even in the option. So what can be done? We need to, play some kind of game over here. What can I do? Can I somehow send 2 inside? In that case, what will I have? I'll have minus 3. If I send 2 inside the square root, it will become 4. So 3 plus 1 will have root 20. By the way, 3 plus 2 plus 5 is 10. I said that. when I took all as positive, but here it is, a is negative, so it's not 10. Minus 3 plus 2 plus 5. Minus 3 plus 2 plus 5 is 4. Oh, we have 4 in the option. How many of you marked that? Tell me in the comments. By the way, 4 looks good, you know. We can just take it, but the problem is we need to find the maximum possible value. It can be maximized, isn't it? If I send 2 inside this, the square root, 2 becomes 4. It becomes the square of it. 4 5s are 20. Now in this case, you see a is minus 3, b is 1, and n is 20. If I add this 20 plus 21, minus is 18. 18 I have there. I cannot do anything now because I have sent everything inside, just 1 outside. So this is the case where I get the maximum value. 20 plus 1 minus 3 is 18. We mark that. It is a difficult question. And this, if your basics are clear, you'll take a minute. If not, you'll take a 5 minutes still. Or maybe you can take 2 minutes and mark 4 and do it wrong. Tell me in the comments if you did that. By the way, I hope you enjoyed this solution. Thank you. The selling price of a product is fixed to ensure 40% profit. 40% profit. Which means if I take the cost price as 100x, SP will be 140x. Perfect, because you get the profit on cost price only. The product had cost 40% less. It means the new cost price is 60x, 40% less. 40% of 100 is the reason I took 100x, because I can calculate the percentages easily. 40% less, that means now it is 40x less, it's 60x, and had been sold for 5 rupees less. That is 140x minus 5. Wow. Then the resulting profit would have been 50%. The original selling price in rupees was, the product was what? This first case, the second case. In second case, the profit is given as 50%, which means 60x multiplied by 1.5, the multiplying factor, 50%, will be equal to the new selling price, 140x minus 5. So if I solve this, I get 90x is equal to 140x minus 5, which also gives us 50x is equal to 5, or I can say x is equal to 1 by 10. Find the original selling price, 140x, x is 1 by 10. Let's put 1 by 10 here. So the answer is 14. This is an easy question. It's like giving you free marks. Thank you. The sum of all real values of k for which this is given to us, okay, is what? Okay. Let me do one thing. 8 is basically 2 cube, isn't it? 2 cube is 8. 3, 2, 7, 6, 8. It's 2 to the power 15. That is 3, 2, 7, 6, 8. So the moment you analyze that they are powers of 2, your life is sorted. Well, so 1 by 8 is 2 to the power minus 3. So I'll have 2 to the power minus 3k. Multiplied by this will be 2 to the power minus 15. Multiplied by 1 by 3. Now we have 2 to the power minus 3 here. And then there's minus 3. I'll just write it again. Okay. Minus 3 and multiplied by 2 to the power minus 15 multiplied by 1 by k. Okay, so far, so good. Now, when the bases are multiplying, when they are multiplying, powers will be added. If I multiply these two, I'll get minus 3k and 3 5s are 15. Minus 5 is what I get here. And then I'll get 2 to the power minus 3 minus 15 by k. Perfect. That's great. Now once we have that, I can, as you see, the base is same. So powers can be equated, right? So I'll have minus 3k minus 5 is minus 3 minus 15 by k. Nice. Let's bring all of it together. So if I send the left hand side to the right hand side, left to right. So I'll get this goes there 3k, and this goes to plus 5 minus 3 plus 5 is plus 2. Plus 2 minus 15 by k is equal to 0. Great. I hope this is correct. 3k. Okay, this is correct. Now we'll have to make a quadratic equation. Multiplying whole thing by k, I'll get 3k square plus 2k minus 15 is equal to 0. Perfect. Sum of all the real values of k. Now what is k here? If I solve this quadratic equation, I get the value of k. K will be the roots of this equation. Sum of all the roots is given by what? In the quadratic equation, in a quadratic equation like this, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, sum of roots is given by minus b by a. What is b here? It's 2. What is a here? It's 3. So minus 2 by 3 must be correct answer. That is where we can use our intelligence instead of finding the roots. Let's use this formula and get going. Thank you. The sum of all 4-digit numbers that can be formed with the distinct non-zero digits a, b, c, d, with each digit appearing exactly once in every number. Wow, once in every number is 153310 plus n, where n is a single digit natural number. The value of a plus b plus c plus d plus n is what? Interesting question. Difficult as well. How many, so to solve this question, there are various levels. First of all, we need to find how many numbers can be formed by using 4 digits. Obviously, the 4 digits and they're occurring only once, so the numbers formed, so formally factorial 4, that is 24. Because first space can be filled in 4 ways, second can be filled in 3 ways, third in 2 ways, last in 1 way. So 24 ways are there, 24 numbers will be formed. And how that numbers will look like, if you try to imagine that, look like this, A, B, C, D, A, B, D, C, isn't it? What can be done now? A, C, B, D, right, A, C, D, B, and so on. So basically you see, we can, kind of rearrange this in various ways. If I write more, I'll have A, D, B, C, and A, D, C, B. Now, as you see, I cannot do anything for the last 3 digits because all the A's, I need to move A now somehow. So, I'll start with B, A, C, D, B, C, A, D, right, B, A, D, C, okay, B. So that is how I'll keep on doing it. So, B will be, as you see, so we can make 6 numbers that start with A. Similarly, I'll make 6 numbers that start with B. Can I say that at every position, be it units, tens, hundreds, or thousands, every digit, be it A, B, or C or D, will appear 6 times each. And that is obvious also. If it's 24 numbers which have to be divided, in 4 different digits. So it will be 24 by 4. So everything will be appearing 6 times only in the entire arrangement. So there are 2 ways to analyze that. One is by the observation, other is by the mathematical convention. Okay, 6 times. Well, so now if I add all of it, how do people add? They add the units position, then if there is carry forward, they go to second one and so on. So having said that, if I add it now, let's say we will be having 4 different, spaces for all the units positions, all the tens positions, all the hundreds positions, all the thousands positions. The thousands, the hundreds, the tens, the units. Okay. So here I get A plus B plus C plus D 6 times. That is how, because everything is occurring 6 times. And same will happen here, same will happen here, same will happen here. Then what's the difference? If I need to write all these numbers in expanded form, then the positions at tens will be 10 times of this. That will be 60 times A plus B plus C plus D. That needs to be kept in mind. Similarly, here it's 100 times, so I'll get 600 times A plus B plus C plus D. Wow. Here I get 6,000 times, the same thing. Interesting question. How many of you attempted that? This is what we have. And if I add all of it, I'll get something equal to 153310 plus n. Okay, let's write that. Let's write that down. So if I add all of it, I'll get 6 times A plus B plus C plus D, which is equal to 153310 plus n. Nice. Which also means A plus B plus C plus D, because A, B, C, D are natural numbers. And if I divide this 153310 plus n, with 6666, there should be no remainder. There should be no remainder, right? Okay. All right. So how many times do I have 153310 in 666? That is what I need to find out. Okay. So let us try to calculate this thing by conventional division. So I have 153310 divided by 6666. Let's see what's the remainder. And that remainder will be the value of n, isn't it? So let's try to find it out. The remainder would be accommodated with n. So let's try to find out 2 times. That is if I take 2 times, I'll get 1, 3. Okay, perfect. 2 6 are 12. 3 again, 3 again. 1 3 3 2. So if you subtract it, what do you get? You get 11 minus 2, that is 9. 12 minus 3 is 9 again. 9 again. And 1 here, and this 0 will go down. Wow. Interesting, right? So this is 6666. If I take, so 19,990. 2 times is 13,332. Take 3 times, it will be how much? It will be, would it cross this 19,000? Is that so? If I take it 3 times, let me check it out. 3 times. 3 6 are 18. 9 9 9. Oh. 1 9 9 and 8 is 8 more here. 8 more here, isn't it? So what do we see here? That if we had 8 more, it would have been completely divisible. 153318 would have been completely divisible. That means the value of n is nothing but 8. So let me write it simply. Write 6666 times 23. This will be equal to 153,310 plus 8. That is what we have with us. Okay, now we need to find the sum of it all. And how do we do that? How do we do that? What is this a plus b plus c plus d? That is sum only of the digits, which is 23. And that is why conventional division is also important. 23 is the sum of a, b, c, d, and n is 8. So if I add it up, I'll get 23 plus 8 as the answer, which gives me 31. That's the final and correct answer. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you. A glass is filled with milk. 2/3 of its content is poured out and replaced with water. This process of pouring out 2/3 the content and replacing with water is repeated 3 more times. That is overall 4 times. And the final ratio of the milk to water in the glass is what? So let me do one thing. Total contents in the milk was, let's say, 1. After the first replacement, 2/3 was removed. And you know what? This was constant. Total contents. I'm not talking about whether it is milk or water. We keep on doing it. We are replacing the equal amount of milk which we took out with water. So overall content, overall switching will be 1 only. So this has happened how many times? 4 times. So overall, this will be 1 by 3 to the power 4. Upon 1 is nothing. So we'll have 1 by 81. Now, this means 81 is total solution and 1 is the milk. We need to find ratio of milk to water. So 1 is milk, 81 is total solution, which means out of this 81, 1 has to be milk, remaining 80 is water. So such a simple question. Milk upon water is 1 by 80. I'm so happy to solve this question. It's like giving you free marks. Thank you. A fruit seller has a total of 187 fruits consisting of apples, mangoes and oranges. The number of apples and mangoes and the ratio 5:2. After she sells 75 apples, 26 mangoes and half of the oranges, the ratio of number of unsold apples to the number of unsold oranges becomes 3:2. Okay, a lot of confusion. Let us try to note it down properly. So let's have apples, mangoes, and then we have what? Oranges. Let's solve it for once and all, the sold and unsold part, so that we don't get confused ever in future. The ratio is given as 5 is to number of apples and oranges 5 is to 2. So if this is 5k, this will be 2k. Nice. This will be 187 minus these two, minus 7k. So far so good. She sells 75 apples. Okay, let me write this again. So here we have this total. Sold and then unsold. Nice. Once we jot on the table, whenever you have such information, a lot of information, then let's just try to make a table. That's what we understand, kind of realize and understand in DI, data interpretation as well. She sells 75 apples, perfect, 26 mangoes and half of the oranges. 187 minus 7k upon 2 have been sold out. And how many unsold are there? Here we have 5k minus 75. Here we have 2k minus 26. Half are sold, half are unsold. It's the same. 187 minus 7k upon 2. Now it says the ratio of number of unsold apples, that is 5k minus 75 upon what is unsold oranges, that is this one, 187k minus 7k upon 2, that 2 goes up. All right, division. So this is equal to how much? This is equal to 3 is to 2 as given in the question, 3 by 2. Here we can find the value of k, the moment to find the value of k, okay, this 187 minus 7k, it's not k, let me just remove this from here. Okay, moment to find the value of k, total number of unsold fruits is what? I'll just put it here and get the answer. Nice. So let's cross multiply. 2 2s are 4, 4 5 is 20, 20k, opening the bracket, doing it simultaneously. 4 into 75 is 300, minus 300 is equal to 3 into 187. 54 561, if I'm not wrong, minus 21k is what we have. Let's send it here. So 20k plus 21k is 41k. This will be equal to 861. Oh wow, k, 4 2s are 8. K is 21. You want to find the number of unsold fruits. Let's put the value of k over here, unsold, and get the value, the answer. K is 21. 21 into 5 is 105. Minus 75 is 30. Nice. 2k. 2 into 21 is 42. Minus 26 is 16. Great. And 187 minus 7k upon 2 is what we need to find. So k is 21. 21 into 7 is 147. 147. 187 minus 147 is 40 upon 2 is 20. So 20 plus 16 is 36. Plus 30 is 66. Has to be the correct answer. The main thing in this question is to write all the information in the table and then everything will be sorted. Consider two sets, set A in which we have elements as 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13 and set B has 1, 8, 27. Let F be a function from A to B such that for every element in B in small b in capital B, the set, there is at least one element in element small a in capital A, the set, such that Fa is equal to B. Then the total number of such functions F is how much? So for that, it's like, let's say we have 6 different things which we want to fill in 3 different boxes. Like this should have at least one element here, right? So it can be, if at least one goes there, so how can we decide? How can we differentiate? So we can have 3 different cases. In case 1, I can, differentiate between, like, I will give equal to everything. I'll have 2, 2, 2. All right. In case 2, I can do what? I can have 3, 2, 1. And in case 3, I can have 4, 1, 1. I cannot have 0. Only 3 cases are possible. Equal distribution, then sending 1 over here, and okay, we have this. How can this be done? So for all the cases, we need to solve it, and that is how we'll solve everything. So we have 6 things. 2 have been given, 6C2, remaining 4. Again, 2 have been given, 2 have been selected. In remaining 2, 2 have been selected. Here, out of 6, 3 have been selected. 3 are remaining now, 3C2, 1 is remaining now, 1C1. Here, out of 6, 4 have been selected, remaining are 2, 1 has been selected, and 1 has been selected. That's it. 6C2 is how much? 6, 5, 30, 15, 4C2 is 6, this is 1. We need to add. So basically, this will happen, or this will happen, or that will happen. So when we have or, we need to add things. 6C3 is how much? 6, 5, 4, and 3, 2, 1, 6. 20 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 1, and 64 is as good as 62. Okay, 15 into 2 into 1. Nice. 90 here plus 60 there plus 30 over there. Wow, this is what we'll be having with us. Perfect. So if I add them up, what will be left with us? By the way, this is not the only thing. We also need to understand that these things can be rearranged. That's not the only thing. To rearrange all of it, here we have three things which are equal in nature. So this will be factorial 3 upon factorial 3. They're equal. But in the second case, as you see there, this has 3, 2 and 1. 3, 2 and in the last case we have 4, 1, 1 and 1. So here this will be factorial 3 only, as they are different, distinct values. We have same. Here we have two distinct, rest are same. So factorial 3 upon factorial 2. When the things are same, we will divide that. So this is 1 only. This is how much? Factorial 3 is 6. And this is how much? Into 3. So. A lot of people must have done this. And this is where the problem lies. So let's solve it. This is 90, no change. 20 plus 60 plus into 6 is 360. And there we have 15 to the 30 into 3 is 90. 90 plus 360 plus 90 is the correct answer. So we'll get 540. Interesting question, isn't it? Difficult also, but I think if you have done it, tell me if you've done it this way. I hope you enjoyed the solution. Thank you.